We made it. We're officially here at the beginning of the Inca Trail. We got our guide, Eddie Money, also known as Edson.
Hey, hello.
He's with us. Right behind us is 28 miles of misery or beauty or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully we make it. We'll see you in 28 miles.
For me, I think it was just a bucket list adventure that kind of signified your football career is over and now you can go do fun things that are really hard that you can't do when you're 300 pounds. But also I think there was internal motivation to prove that I could reach Machu Picchu, which is one of the most beautiful places on earth and certainly turned out to be even more beautiful than we ever could have expected.
So this little checkpoint right here was the beginning of what is known as the original Inca Trail. This is where soldiers and guards would check and make sure that only nobility was using the Inca Trail that went up to Machu Picchu. So a lot of this is restored, but it's pretty amazing to see where it sits.
Yeah, when you're going into this trip, you are signing up for something that's really tough. I mean, it's 28 miles in the mountains at elevation. You know, you're at the lowest around 8,000 feet.
You think it's about 50-50 that we make it?
Well,
Coin flip?
I'll flip a coin
Yeah,
for that.
based on what you've seen, maybe 60-40
Oh, there we go.
in the mountain's favor.
I don't care how good of shape you're in. So to be able to just focus on the hiking was immensely helpful. And the team of porters that come with you that are able to like cook for you, clean for you, set up camp so that you don't have to think about, all right, now I gotta set up my tent, now I gotta unroll my sleeping bag, now I gotta cook dinner.
Gracias, gracias. Hey. Hola, amigo. Hola, hola.
Of the most amazing treks in the world, Machu Picchu's up there. But I think it separates itself because you have such an experienced team of porters that you build such a great relationship with, that you build that level of trust that allows you to just focus on you and your partner that you're hiking with. And so you really have an opportunity to enjoy every bit of it while focusing on like the hard parts that you have to do, which is the hike.
Turn the corner. 200-foot waterfall.
I didn't do as much research as he did going into this trip, and you can say that with everything that Joe does in his life. He does all the research, and I kind of just say, okay, what do I need to pack? Day one, when we started, my nerves were at an all-time high because I was like, what is laying ahead here? That second day that we woke up and it was Dead Woman's Pass, my stomach was in such knots. It happened to be my 39th birthday, and I was like, well, this is where it ends for me, is 39. I'm gonna go out on top.
We're breathing pretty hard.
Yeah, but I feel
But
good
we
so
feel
far.
fantastic.
But after we started going, and you take breaks and you look around and you see where you're at, and it's almost like you get this rush of adrenaline, like on a game day, where you're in awe of your space. You just can't believe where you are. Obviously, Joe and I were athletes and we had trained for this, and so that part of it, the technical, difficult part of it, was so far low on my worry list after day two. We were just having the time of our lives.
Started the day way down there and around the corner and 3,000 feet below us.
We were actually halfway to Dead Woman's Pass. I was looking forward to the break. We were sitting there. They had just put up our camp for lunch, and all of a sudden they say, lunch is ready. We sit down, we have this lunch, and they bring in a birthday cake.
And three.
Oh.
Birthday to you.
I was crying. I was looking at Joe. I'm like, did you know they were going to do this? Like, it was one of the most amazing experiences. I will never, ever, ever forget that birthday.
$13,885.
There was incredible euphoria for us to get to Machu Picchu, to complete the journey. Because I think going into it, before we got there was a lot of questions in my own mind of how I was going to handle the mountain, how I was going to handle elevation, because I did some hiking in Switzerland when I was 19 years old, right before I joined the Badger football team. I was like 250 pounds, was in great shape, and I was hiking at like 8,000 feet in Switzerland, and I got altitude sickness. And I was worried because this is 6,000 feet higher, and I'm hiking for a lot longer, and I'm a lot older, twice as old now. Like, I was not sure if I was physically gonna be able to handle it.
Which means we're not helping at all.
No. But that's good.
Oh, being able to do it with Annie and conquer something that there was a lot of question marks in my head of if we were going to be able to do it, I think just made it even more meaningful to finally get to Machu Picchu, to walk through that sun gate and to look down on something that you didn't know if you were going to be able to do it. I think that brought us even closer together.
Yeah, that's the nipple-shaped mountain. That one there. That's the highest part of the trail, let's say.
Okay.
The journey to get there was the best part. It wasn't really arriving there and seeing it. It was the time that you had on the trail with your wife. It was the time on the trail you had with your porters, the trust that you built with your guide, like the growth that you had enduring really, really hard stuff along the way. That was the best part.
If there weren't so many beautiful places on this earth for us to see, I would say, Joe, we should do this every year. It was one of the most spectacular trips that we have ever been on, or probably ever will be on.